Here at ECOC, one of the big success stories has been the market focus, and I'm joined by Jeff Demain of Intel, who's just given a presentation with an absolutely packed audience. Jeff, I managed to prize you away from that audience. You talked about so many interesting things, but one was the cloud and where we really are with the cloud at the moment.
Yeah, no, thank you, Brian. Happy to be here talking to you. And yes, the cloud is a very exciting point, and it's not just a marketing buzzword. Hey, it's the cloud. The cloud is wonderful. The cloud is growing dramatically on a number of fronts. And because it's growing, we need to really address that with optics. What are we doing to change optics? Because the cloud is changing the world of optics. I'll give you an example of what's happening in the cloud, something that we just showed, what I just talked about, which is the Cancer Collaborative Cloud, which is how by 2020, and we have a major initiative on this now, do we do personalized cancer treatments in a day for any individual on the planet. Right? How do we do that? We do that through incredible compute, we do that through the cloud, and we do that all by connecting it with optics. So yes, the cloud is growing, the cloud is exciting, and there are wonderful advancements being made that help everyone.
And while there are all these opportunities, also I guess what's very important is development of standards to go along with that.
It's very true, right? What do standards bring? Standards bring benefits of multiple vendors, cost, consistency, ease of use for the end user. So that's true. But what's happening is standards have typically had a pace to them and a process to them. The hyperscale cloud, that means the big leaders in the industry, the ones that have over 100,000 servers in one building, need to advance their scale and their capability at a pace that was moving faster than standards bodies could. They had become large enough with a large enough need that they said, let's do our own thing because standards are not moving fast enough. An example of that would be the 25 gig, 50 gig consortium. So that came along, to many people that came along from nowhere to suddenly be on the map, and not only be on the map, but people are developing products for that. That's all over the course of probably less than 2 years. So does that mean the standards are not needed? No, it means the cloud is changing the world of standards. Standards are still to be respected. Standards still drive consistency. They still drive ease of use. They still drive volume. But how do standards bodies adapt in this changing world? And that's required. So it's not that the cloud service providers are view the standards bodies in any negative way. It's they have to adapt to where the business world is.
Yeah, because one of the benefits is actually to aid that competitiveness that everybody needs.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at what you can get very inexpensively from the cloud now as far as services. I showed the example from Amazon where for $100 you could do an optimization on a catalog with 900,000 predictions in it for $100. If that's the cost, that low, the optics have to be low cost. How does that typically happen? That typically happens through standards, right? So it's not that standards should be out, it's that the pace by which standards are adapted and the pace by which they understand the business needs to change. They're all, of course they're for standards. That will, again, reduce costs, make it a competitive landscape, all of the wonderful things that, standards have brought into play.
And you talked, obviously, we're in a very upbeat world at the moment. Your presentation was very upbeat. You talked about the Intel optical culture.
Yes, absolutely. And that culture for us is one in which we are excited about the vision. We're excited about what is happening in the cloud, what's happening in the compute industry. And yes, we love technology, and we're excited by the fact that we have amazing microprocessors and amazing memory coming. But even more so, we're excited by we're going to be implementing things that make the planet a better place, advance humanity, bring answers to grand questions. That's exciting. For us, that's our optical culture. We're compelled by what the optics does, right? It's not just what's in an endpoint optically, but when somebody uses that, what benefits does it bring? How does it advance the world? How does that make that exciting? That's our culture. And what an amazing time to be in optics, right? We have the cloud, we have this tremendous growth, we have scale which we've never seen before. So for us, it's exciting to be there. That's our culture. I think that's the culture that the optics industry should have. It's one about being compelled about what's possible and what does the optics bring to society. It's exciting and it's dynamic.
Jeff, thank you very much for talking to us.
Brian, thank you. Very happy to be here.
So from one of the biggest names on the planet, Intel, an exciting future for everyone in this industry.